When you look at a piano, you start out at your C note, then you go up another 8 notes on the piano, that's say about 8 notes on the white keys, and you make it up to that 8th note, that's another C, that's an octave. So it's basically the same note, but 8 notes higher or even lower, doesn't matter which one. So what we're going to work on now today is we're going to learn how to play in octaves, so that not only do we learn how to just go up vertically on the guitar, or just horizontally, but now we're going to move like a bishop on a chessboard, and we're going to move diagonally today, okay? So, without further ado, let's get started. The main thing about this lick today is we are really just playing one exercise, or one shape, really. And all it is this. And I guess you could say it's like an E Locrian, really. And what it is, here's the basic lick of it. Let's go through that first, just to get the pattern of it figured out. Because once we figure the pattern out, the rest is easy. It's just a matter of knowing where to move to afterwards. So it's going to start out, and it depends on who you are. If you're like me, and you're a bit lazy with your fingers sometimes, you might want to start with your second finger. Other people might feel a little more ambitious and try to go using their pinky. It's all up to you. It's all relative. Let's start with, let's say, with our second finger. I'm going to teach it like that today, but you do have that other option. You're going to start with your second finger on the 17th fret of the high E string. That's an A note. Then your third finger is going to reach up and keep this finger down, keep your second finger down. So it'll be there when you come back. Your third finger then is going to reach for B flat, or the 18th fret of the high E string. Then you're going to come back to the A. Then your first finger is going to reach down to this G on the 15th fret. And that's so far, that's our shape. Now we're going to reach our second finger over to the E note, the 17th fret of the B string this time. Then we're going to move our first finger to a D note, the 15th fret of the B string, and then back up to that same 17th fret on the same string. So all together it's going to sound like this. And then we just repeat by going back to this G note over here. So once we go back to the E over here, we're going to reach over to this 15th fret on the high E string again over here to restart it. And try to use a strict alternate picking with this hand, you know, down, up, down, up, down, up, regardless of what strings you're passing. If you want to do economy picking, that's up to you, but try them both ways, honestly. Both styles are really, really beneficial. They provide advantages in certain situations. Okay, now here's what gives this thing its flair, its movement, its magic. We're going to take this same shape and we're going to move it down an octave. So how do we move things down an octave? From this high G over here on the 15th fret, we're going to go down to this G now, the 12th fret of the 3rd string. And then the final aspect of the lick is going to start on this G. And that's going to be on the 10th fret of the A string. So we're moving up all these octaves. And guess what? It is all the exact same thing we did in the beginning. See there? Now, I'll go ahead and go through it. And then we're going to go down to the 12th fret of the 3rd string and just moving the exact same shape you did up here. You know, just kind of go. Just start with, pretend this is your 15th fret for a second. You're actually going to start with this note, unlike up here where you started with the A note. So here you're going to start with the G note. And then, once you're done with that one, now move to the 10th fret, A string, G note. And those are octaves basically for you. Okay, so that was the octave lick lesson for today. Remember, when you're moving in octaves, like I said, you're just taking the same shape and you're basically just moving over depending on what string you're on. You know, you start out from here, then you move over 2 strings, down 2 frets. If you're moving from here to the B string, you still move over 2 strings, but you move down 3 frets because you have to accommodate for the B string's strange tuning. Other examples of players that use this octave principle, think of guys like Marty Friedman from Megadeth. He uses octaves a lot in his solo. Actually, that's kind of one of the things he'll talk about is he'll take one shape and he'll just move it all up and down the neck, and it creates this wild and crazy sound that most guitar players, shredders, are looking for in the first place. So yeah, so thanks for watching.